About to get frozen out? This week on the Football League show, Roy Keane's Ipswich hope to end their losing streak against Leicester. Leading the way, Championship frontrunners Queen's Park Rangers face a tricky trip to inform Leeds. And in a week when the winter weather decimated the Football League programme, Derby County take on Reading in one of the few surviving games. Only 8 Football League matches beat the brutal conditions this weekend. One of them was at Pride Park. Derby were hoping to avoid a 4th successive defeat when they took on Reading, who were on a run of 5 straight draws. Your commentator is Tony Gubber.
That somehow turned into a decent pass to find Sifka. Now here's Luke Moore. Pulled it back, good turn, very good turn. Oh, what a good shot as well by Bueno. Struck the inside of the far post. And the front two for Derby County linking up there really well. Here's Bueno, moves it on to the fullback. Here's Brayford again, he's done well. On the turn, Luke Moore, oh brilliant, really brilliant save by Federici. Luke Moore brings the best out of the Reading goalkeeper. Really good work by the player on loan from West Brom. Now here's McAnuff with an opportunity to work up a head of steam. Still McAnuff. Oh, he slipped that one through nicely. Chance for Lowell. Was that a penalty? Referee's in no doubt. Shane Long getting to his feet, having crumbled in the penalty area. Just a yellow card for the defender who got across to tangle with Shane Long, and it's Shane Long himself to give Reading an unlikely lead at half-time. And he's driven that past Stephen Bywater. It's his 34th as a Reading player, and it's Derby County 0, it's Reading 1. Here's Hunt. Oh, it's broken kindly for him. Here's Hunt. Good save by Bywater, right-handed, just got enough on the ball to direct it past the foot of the post. Otherwise, Reading were 2 up. Alex Pearce is up from the back. Oh, that's hit the woodwork. Shane Long with a glancing header, which has rattled the frame of that Derby County goal. In comes the cross from Mike Commons. He's done it again. That man, Chris Commons, such an important player for Nigel Clough and Derby County. He just seemed to push the Reading fullback out of the way, just brushed him aside and planted that header inside the post. It's Derby 1, it's Reading 1. Bueno. That's into the middle. Oh, brilliant save again from Federici. Absolutely unbelievable to deny Luke Moore. Commons who played it across the 6-yard box. Luke Moore who got to it. But again, the Reading goalkeeper to the rescue. Now, McAnuff. Normally the left winger. That's not a bad ball in. Oh, it's a winner! It's a winner! And it's that man, Shane Long, again. Reading with a second goal to break Derby County's hearts. The defence looked spread. There was nobody to challenge Shane Long. And it wasn't a difficult header for the Reading striker. Over a minute left to play of the 4 that have been added on. It's Chris Commons who takes it, and he's hit the top of the crossbar. And that's how close it's been. But it's heartbreak for Derby. it's heartache for their manager Nigel Clough, because this will be 4 defeats in a row, with 8 goals conceded and just 3 scored. But that's how close they were to sharing the points.
I'm not quite sure how we've lost it second half, having gone 1-0 down to softish penalty, we thought. Came back in the second half and played some brilliant stuff at times, created enough chances probably to win 2 or 3 matches.
Well, it's a massive relief, but you know, we've earned that today off the back of 5 draws on the spin. Each one of those draws I felt we deserved to win, and today we've got a great result against what I think is a really, really good side.
After last week's setback, a tricky one for the Championship leaders, up against a Leeds side hoping to continue an 8-match unbeaten run. The home side made most of the early running, Luciano Becchio almost celebrating his new contract with the opener. Despite failing to equal a club record unbeaten start, QPR is still yet to lose away, and El Tarabt showed just how dangerous Neil Warnock's side can be on the counter-attack, the Moroccan missing the chance to take his tally for this season into double figures. Leeds manager Simon Grayson celebrated his 2nd anniversary in charge on Thursday. His players rewarded him by breaking the deadlock midway through the half. Robert Snodgrass twisted and teased the unfortunate Kasper Skorks, and when his cross eventually fell to Max Gradel, he made no mistake from 6 yards to notch his 2nd goal in as many matches. Games involving Leeds have generated the most goals in the Championship so far, and the Yorkshire club continued to press for a 2nd after the break, Paddy Kenny needing to be alert to turn away another Becchio effort. But their pressure eventually told when Gradel was allowed to run unchallenged from his own half. As Fitz Hall stood off, the Ivorian midfielder took full advantage to score his 2nd with 20 minutes to go. 2-0 it finished, and now it's 2 defeats in a row for Warnock, who seems to have lost his recent carefree demeanour. Gary Speed's decision to take control of the Wales national team has once again left Sheffield United looking for a new manager this season. John Carver is the man in temporary charge. His first task was to try and boost morale and avoid a 3rd consecutive defeat. Swansea's usual raucous away support was severely depleted due to the adverse weather conditions. The fans who did turn up must have been relieved that the referee's assistant deemed Stephen Quinn offside as he put the ball in the net after just 10 minutes. But it was a moment of quality from the home side that eventually broke the deadlock. Andy Reid, a player at the heart of most of the Blades' best moves, played a long ball forward for Ched Evans, and the Welsh striker, who also scored against Cardiff on the opening day, kept his cool to slot the ball under Doris de Vries for only his 4th of the campaign. Despite having the majority of possession, Swansea failed to create many clear-cut chances, and when Scott Sinclair finally found room for a rare shooting opportunity, he could only fire straight at Steve Simonson. 1-0 it finished, the Swans passing up the opportunity to leapfrog Cardiff in the table as Carver got his tenure off to a winning start.
The only chance that they had in the game, obviously we conceded from, so that we had decent control of the first half without creating as much. But I thought our reaction second half was magnificent, and we just couldn't quite get the finishing touch to what was some terrific play.
Everybody's going to want to know now whether you want the job, fancy it.
Listen, I'm not thinking about it. I really mean that. I know people give it lip service and say, well, just to try and keep people off the scent, but I'm not interested in that. All I'm interested in doing is a job for this football club. I've got a contract. I'll honour the contract. I'm here to stay unless somebody else doesn't want me.
Norwich fans were happy to welcome back Grant Holt for the trip to Coventry. The striker had been suspended last weekend when his side's 6-game unbeaten run came to an end at Portsmouth. The Canaries had won just once in 30 years at Coventry and were lucky not to concede a penalty in the first half. The pitch tripped Michael Nelson, who in turn tripped Clive Platt. Then, with just over half an hour played, Coventry were reduced to 10 men. Aaron Gunnarsson slipped in the icy conditions before lunging in on Henry Lansbury. It was a straight red card for the Icelandic midfielder as the game suddenly swung in Norwich's favour. Coventry had kept 4 consecutive clean sheets before this fixture, but they were found wanting by Norwich's key man this season. Grant Holt, heading in Russell Martin's cross, scored his 5th goal in 5 matches. By contrast, Norwich's defending has been less than impressive recently. They've conceded in the last 8 matches, and when Elliot Ward missed his tackle on Marlon King, that run extended to 9. The 10 men back on level terms with King's second goal in 3 games. But with just 3 minutes of normal time remaining, Grant Holt made his presence felt again. Cue some suitably seasonal celebrations. There was, however, still time for the home side to create one last chance. Second-half substitute Freddie Eastwood had only been on the pitch a few minutes, but the woodwork denied him a late leveller. Norwich move above their hosts 5 points off the top.
Well, we are disappointed, but you know we won't be pointing fingers at people. At the end of it, it's down to us. We've been very attack-minded, tried to get back in the game after having a sending off, which I think was a sending off. And in the end, you know, you can't leave players of Holt's quality unmarked at corners because they score goals.
The run we've been on and the way we're playing football is a credit to the lads in the football club. So, big win against a really good side.
Still to come, can Ipswich get back to winning ways against Leicester at a snow-covered Portman Road? And a cracker in the only surviving League One match between Exeter City and Sheffield Wednesday.